What's good, YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and I'm going to be making my predictions and full card breakdown of UFC Apex Fight Night, Belal versus Bonfim. Let's get into it. Ketlin Souza versus Arain Carnelosi. This is a rematch. Ketlin Souza um, being a big, meaty hook girl. She normally wins that decisions by kind of smudging against the fence and landing the bigger shots. She did get a nasty slime out on the Sphere card at UFC 306, I believe, um, where she beat Yawari, I don't know, some Mexican lady, knocked her down, latched up the sub. Very similar to what's that fight? Agrasso versus Macy Barber. And Carnelosi has had literally zero success. I think she got subbed in her last fight by a Morin or another Brazilian girl, um, like grappler. She got dominated, ended up getting subbed in the third. Her only recent win, it was someone good. I can't remember the name. I think her name was like Nunez or something, like last name Nunez. Or, but that was because her opponent couldn't like stop headbutting her. She would take Colonel Lucy down and fucking slam her head into her, and like continuously make these stupid ass mistakes. And then she got a DQ over it. So I'm gonna pick Kevin Souza just being the better fighter. Again, I think I said this already. This is a rematch. The first fight I believe Colonel Lucy won, and she won by like a body shot TKO. I think Kevin Souza has continuously gotten better since then, and Carnelosi just hasn't had any success in the UFC. I've seen Kevin Souza actually have decent moments. She took Angela Hill to a very competitive decision, so I think she's going to win this one by decision as well. Carnelosi does look has been looking very finishable, so I wouldn't be surprised if Souza gets like a submission, knocks her down, hurts her, is able to latch up a sub. Moving on to Chelsea Chavez versus Yunesi Tuben. Both these girls are coming off the contender. Well, obviously Chavez is coming off the contender series. Tuben came off the contender series off a nasty overhand knockout over some lady that looked like Kayla Harrison, but even like skinnier and more drained. When it's flyweight, Kayla Harrison. And then she got in her debut slammed out by Carly Judy's. Chavez had a very fun war on the contender series. I can't remember against who off the top of my head. Can't remember who. But I think she's just gonna win this off being the better fighter. Duben is like really good at like landing these big overhands, but I think when she's fighting the better fighter here, I think it's just gonna be Chavez picking at her, striking her. Maybe she gets a wrong KO. She does have a couple finishes on her record. Um, sorry, I'm looking. I'm trying to look at topologies to find out who Chavez be because I know who she is, but I just can't remember for some reason. Okay. But I pretty much think this fight is just gonna be Chavez picking at Duben and just piecing her up and then winning. They both have very similar records. Chavez being 6-1, Duben being 6-1. Duben being 6-1, Chavez being 6-0. She beat Sofia Montenegro. That's right. As she was supposed to fight Kara Kay, I believe, and then she had to pull out. And Montenegro isn't the best, but still, yeah, I think Duben is gonna just not look good. She didn't even look good in her contender series fight. She just ended up finding that big overhand, and I don't think she's gonna be able to find it here. I got Chavez decision. Jordan Levitt versus Joanderson Brito. Joanderson Brito coming off the win to that short notice Australian dude. Before that, he was on a 2-fight losing streak, I believe, to William Gomez, and where it was a very close decision. In moments he would get out grappled, and he would get picked up on the feet. And then he lost to Pat Sabatini, where he got pretty much dominated, smudged for all 3 rounds, going for the gilly in every attempt. And he didn't even look that good in his last fight. And you could argue his last fight was an arguable robbery. I'm going to see who it was against. It was against Isaac Thompson, someone who came in short notice, debuted. And he didn't really look that good. I think he even got hurt in moments and got out grappled in some moments. while Jordan Levitt, he's coming off a 2-fight win streak where he beat Holloway, not the best one, but he easily subbed him, and then he just beat Yadir Davaye, where he took his out grappled him and was pretty much doing better on the feet with his good lateral movement. And I think I'm gonna pick Jordan Levitt here to beat Joe Anderson Brito. The way Brito just kind of goes for Gillies, I feel like Jordan Levitt's gonna be ready for that. And the guys who he loses to are like very high level grapplers. Paddy Pillman is a top 10 dude in the lightweight division. Chase Hooper is very good with the grappling. Jordan Levitt just doesn't have the physicality and the striking to deal with that, to deal with him on the feet. But here, Brito is dangerous on the feet. But I think Jordan Levitt is going to be able to fit circle, and Brito's fucking really shitty, untechnical overhands and stuff aren't going to work for him. And his telegraph leg kicks, I could just see him getting smudged and dead, dominated on the ground. Somewhat similar to the past Sabatini performance. So yeah, I am worried for this pick though, because I feel like Levitt could just get chinned here, because Brito is very dangerous. But I think he could get up a submission too. Maybe he finds that Gilly. Jordan Levitt has been subbed in two of his UFC losses, in two of his only losses. She's super rear naked, and then Paddy Pillman had rear naked him too. I was making sure to fact check myself before I said that he had gotten Gillied. He hasn't, so I think he should be fine here. I don't think Brito's going to be able to get a rear naked on him, reverse the position or something like that. So I got Jordan Levitt by decision, a couple decisions, 3 decisions to start off this Apex card is what I'm predicting. Priscilla Cachoeira versus Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea Chandler is just kind of a shit fighter. She literally has had like 1 win, and it was over nobody. Priscilla Cachoeira, on the other hand, actually Chandler does have a win. I believe her name is like something Nunes. Josane Nunes, a very short, stocky. She kind of looks like Gilbert Burns, but actually a woman. She kind of built like a thumb. Chelsea Chandler beat her by decision. Priscilla Cachoeira knocked her out bad. Oh, actually on the same card that Dubé got knocked out. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Priscilla Cachoeira. In the last fight, she kind of just let herself lose. She was like landing the better shots, but she was getting picked apart. And she's a blockhead. She has no defense. Her chin is kind of shit, but she has like way better losses in my opinion. Jasmine Jesuda Vicious, Miranda Maverick, Shevchenko in her UFC debut, Jillian Robertson. But then she's lost like Luana Carolina and Molly McCann. Just not the best luck. Both girls, actually, there's an interesting fact. Both these girls have only been knocked out once in their career, and that was by Jocelyn Edwards in the first round as well. But yeah, I just think Priscilla Cachoeira is just going to have the physicality and power advantage over Chelsea Chandler, and she's going to get around one knockout, similar to her Josane Nunes fight. Actually, that's kind of similar to her. She beat Arani De Silva around one KO, which is actually pretty impressive. But she went on a 2-fight losing streak, beat Josane Nunes by around one KO, went on a 2-fight losing streak. I think she's going to kill the streak here and KO Chelsea Chandler, because if she ran from Norma Dumont. Bruno Silva versus Edgar Chairez. Bruno Silva coming off the Charles Johnson performance where I thought he got robbed. Was I making YouTube videos for that? I think so. I think that was Kevin Vallejos versus Emmett card. And then Edgar Chairez coming off the pretty bad performance over Felipe Bunes. Both coming off decisions. One coming off a loss, one coming off a win. But both having very different levels of competitiveness. Bruno Silva had a very close and very arguable. I don't even think it was arguable. I think he actually got robbed against Charles Johnson, who is top 15 material. Edgar Chairez arguably, I think he did have just a bad performance, but he did still look awful against Felipe Bunes, who isn't really good and isn't really ranked material at all. I think Bruno Silva just hits harder. He is pretty good in the striking. He does have very good grappling showing against King Sung Park. And in some other fights, he was able to chin Cody Durden. I think Edgar Chairez has a good chin, so I don't think he's going to get knocked out here. But I think all the bigger moments are going to go to Bruno Silva. He's probably going to get a takedown here and there. I don't think he's going to get a sub. But I think he'll get a decision here. I don't think he'll get a submission. Maybe he finds a KO, maybe he starts landing to the body. Maybe Shivers looked pretty weak to the body against what's his name, Van. I mean, Bruno Silva looked weak to the body too. That's how he lost that fight. It was like getting ripped to the body, but he also got knocked down to the head. But yeah, I just think Bruno Silva's better overall, and he's gonna push Chira's back on the hype train. Moving on to Marcus McGee versus John Yanis. Yanis debuted against Austin Bash. He got subbed in a round. It was a short notice. Then he beat some Canadian dude, knocked him out in a round. Honestly, a pretty good performance. Marcus McGee has been inactive for like a year, maybe for like less than a year. Maybe not less. Maybe it actually has been like a year. And his last performance was Peter Yan, where he lost by decision, but he made it very close in round one, arguably winning, probably just winning it. And then in round two, he was making it very competitive early on, and then Peter Yan started finding it slow. So two different levels of competition here. He beat Jonathan Martinez, which isn't the best win, but it's still a decent win. He didn't look good in round three. Guys like shoot up. Martinez made the dumb decision to clinch. But I think this is going to be an easy win for Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee was supposed to fight Jakub Wiklax, and I think he's good enough. I think he was going to beat Wiklax by KO, and I definitely think he's going to win by KO here. John Yanis has been, I think he's been KO'd once before. I think in 4 of his losses he's been subbed in 3. I think that's an interesting stat. No, he's been subbed in 2, decision in 2. I can honestly see him either getting KO'd in round 1 or 2, or I can see him getting dropped and then Marcus McGee catching the back and getting a submission. He beat Jamie Siraj. That was the Canadian dude he beat. It was honestly a pretty nasty slam. But yeah, I think Marcus McGee can win by KO here, or he's going to drop him, get a sub. It's going to be my prediction. Round 1 KO or submission. Moving on to the end of the prelims, Matt Chanel versus Alessandro Costa. This is a squash max. Biodegradable banana matchup. Alessandro Costa by round 2 KO. Honestly, I just think Matt Chanel isn't very, I think he's too chinny. He does have decent grappling to give people issues, but he gets finished a lot. He's too finishable. The great Jimmy Flick could have beat him. Matt Chanel retired, I think. When did he retire? I don't remember when he came back. Did he come back? He either came back for the Cody Durden fight or for the the American 10. He either came back for the Cody Durden fight or the Jimmy Flick fight. I think he retired after the this was a rebooking. Yeah, I think he retired for Cody Durden, and then he came back to fight Jimmy Flick, won, and then Joseph Morales lead him in a round. Wow, I forgot about that fight. Joseph Morales. Dude, I was calling him like Vince Morales. His name's Joseph Morales. Serious. In my what was it? In my prospects tier list. If I put it here. I think this is gonna be an easy KO for Alessandro Costa. He finds good reads. He was able to find the reads on the body shots in round 2 against Stuart Nickel, and he'll breaks people to the body. That's how he beat Nickel. Borjas chewed him up to the legs, and I think he's just gonna get like a pretty nice, tasty KO here. There's a reason why he's minus 600. This was supposed to be Emmanuel Rodriguez, who I think would have easily beat Machino in round 1. But I don't think Alessandro has the power that Emmanuel does. And I think it's gonna take him like a round. It's gonna take him a round to like figure out. I can see him getting like stuck in like some grappling exchanges in round 2. He ends up getting the finish. So yeah, pick is gonna be round 1 KO for Alessandro Costa. Moving on to the main card. Evil Baranowski versus Junior Toffa. Junior Toffa coming off, I think, a 2-fight win streak, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, he's 7-5. Jeez, man. Is he actually on 2-fight? No, he's on a 1-fight win streak. He had lost to Toffa's about on going around 2. Well, I thought it was round 3. Around 2, where he looked good early, then he just started getting blobbed up on the ground. He was good for a gilly, and then he ended up getting arm triangled. Then against Billy O'Connor, he looked really good. Dropped him in round 1, was hurting him on the feet, and then he just gets taken down, gets submitted, Kevin Christian chewing off the fucking leg of Juju Taffa, literally having him. He couldn't celebrate the win properly because his leg was fucked up. He was able to chin Kevin Christian pretty easily, like ground and pound and stuff, after sending him down with like a left right hook. But even Bojanowski, he's coming off a 2-fight win streak, chinned off Salim, as he should immediately too, and then he had a war with Ibo Aslan. I just think that Ivo has a grappling game, but if he goes into a brawl here, I'll be very worried because he is kind of chinny. And Junior Top of the Head does have good striking, but if he sticks to leg kicks, doesn't really fully engage in the brawl, and does try to grapple, he'll win this. I can see a round 1 submission for him. I don't think he's gonna KO Junior Tough. I think his only way of winning is by submission, because Junior Tough, unless he like chews up his legs. But yeah, I think, let me see. Junior Tough has only lost once by KO, and that was when he got his legs chewed up on short notice against Marcos Rodrigo, whatever his name was. So yeah, my pick is gonna be round 1 or 2 submission for Evo. It seems like people tend to take Taffa to round 2 when they finish him. Right? From those 2 finishes I saw. Yeah, he's only been subbed once in a round. And that was when Walter Walker, literally at the end of the round, got a heel hook, and it was like a verbal submission from Junior Taffa. Oh my god, he lost to Muhammed Usman. Dude, if you're losing to Muhammed Usman, Igor Bereniewski should be able to beat you. So yeah, the pick is going to be round 1 submission for Igor Bereniewski. Moving into Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. Bryce coming off the Said Nurmagomedov win, where he was able to just out-grapple him. Got hurt early in round 1 or 2, but was able to take over with the grappling. Santiago Luna on a good 2-fight win streak in the UFC. Beat kind of bums. Beat Zhang Li or some shit like that. Who did he beat? You know, I don't really care. I did look. I just can't remember the names of some fighters because I know he KO'd some Chinese dude. It was Kwang Li, yeah, in round 1 on the street card, but he got dropped himself. He got dropped like twice, pretty badly. And then he had a really good performance over Angel Pacheco. But she has like a pretty good chin. You grapple him in moments. Was hurting him on the feet. I struck him, I grappled him. Looks honestly pretty good. But Angel Pacheco really isn't the best. I'm gonna have to pick Bryce Mitchell by decision here, man. I think Bryce Mitchell's really good. I know everybody hates Bryce Mitchell, but he is good. Like, he is very talented. He makes people look. John Silver didn't look that good in round 1. He did get slammed out by you, Josh Emmett. He has lost a lot by his submission. Santiago Luna does have a lot of submissions. I'm very worried because he did get dropped by Said Nurmagomedov in round 1. As Santiago Luna does have that power. And Bryce Mitchell was trained for a totally different style against Victor Henry. Now he gets this very physical, powerful Santiago Luna prospect, 8-0, come in. It is a little worrying, but I do think Bryce Mitchell will be able to. Maybe he'll survive like a really troublesome round 1, and then dominate the grappling, show levels, show experience. And yeah, he's gonna be my pick. Bryce Mitchell by decision. Fares Diane versus Tom Nolan. If you guys know me, Tom Nolan is one of my favorite fighters, and if you do know the jazzlovesmma lore, you know I love me some unranked lightweight fighters. Ludovic Klein, Chris Padilla, even Tom Nolan, Ribovich, and Nazim Sadikov were some of my favorite fighters. And Tom Nolan's getting a step up against Fares. I've talked about this a lot. He shouldn't have gone this fight, in my opinion. Fares should have been getting someone up to the rankings. He should have been fighting a, he should have been fighting a like Moicano, if he got that, but I think he should have been fighting Fiziev, man, instead of Manuel Torres. I think that would have been a very good matchup. But it's interesting. He's on a crazy win streak. He's on like a 6-fight win streak. It's not that impressive, some of the names on there. Him knocking out Nazim Sadikov the way he did was impressive. So that's why I believe there's a lot of hype on him right now. Like, a lot of the new hype, there's obviously people hyping him up. Shout out to Average Guys Fan on Twitter. But yeah. And then Tom Nolan, his win streak isn't that good either. He got dropped badly by Victor Martinez, I believe his name was. And he had a really sloppy fight against Alex Reyes, Dominic Reyes' brother, who is a fighter who is pretty awful. So when I look at this, it's like Tom Nolan does have chin issues. He got dropped with Charlie Campbell, and so he just seems chinny. But I don't know if Ferziam has like the power in his hands to be able to do that. Maybe if they get in the clinch, he can elbow him. He took Jack. I think there's going to be a decision either way. As I'm going to talk about, I'm going to decide who I'm finally going to pick. Because I should pick Ferziam. He should win. But Tom Nolan is good. He's very good. He's very talented. A very talented striker. Look, wait against Lava Claws. Beat him all over. Beat him on the feet. Beat him in the grappling. I don't know how much success Ziam is going to have in the grappling. Tom Nolan is getting better. He still is a bit of a brawler. But I don't know. I just think I think he has the finishing. He has better finishing ability, but he's the chinnier fighter here. And I don't think skill-wise they're that far apart. CM does have nasty knees up the middle. Maybe he can catch Nolan with that. Nolan is susceptible to right hands. Very tricky fight for me to pick, man, because I want to pick the fighter I like. Whenever I pick the fighter I like, especially lightweight, when they try to get into the rankings, it never works out. Ludwig Klein and what's his name? Ludwig Klein and Esteban Rivich are my two favorite lightweight fighters. When they faced Gamera, I picked them both. I looked at so much tape for them, and I still picked against them. And I still picked them, even though I was like, oh man, I see a lot of holes in their game. And then they lost. I could just see Tom Nolan losing this by decision, by Ferzian being the better fighter in moments, getting the bigger moments because Nolan is chinny. But Nolan's good. He has loads of kicks. He uses kicks and his elbows and his knees all very well, but so does Ferzian. Times his knees very well. But Nolan, I think this is the first time he's going to be facing someone bigger than him. Jack Herbert was as big as him, and he took him to the decision. I think Jack Herbert's equally as chinny as Nolan, but I think Nolan's better. He has better grappling than Jack Herbert. I think he has better striking. Nolan does have kind of T-Rex arms for his height, so I think that's going to be an issue here. It's tricky, man. Tricky. Fuck it. Tom Nolan by decision. We're going to get into the rankings. Tom Nolan's going to win by decision. He's going to have a really tricky round one. He's going to get hurt. But then he's going to take over. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very competitive. Ferzian probably gets a decision, but fuck it. I'm picking Tom Nolan to win. Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. I've made a couple videos about this already. Dude, Brendan Allen's fucking representing Brazil. Not only were they coming to this prediction video not going to pick him, when I saw that he was representing Brazil a couple hours ago, I already cemented that I was picking Edmund Shabazian. Brendan Allen got KO'd by Chris Curtis. Before that, he got KO'd by Strickland in round 2. Then he got KO'd by Chris Curtis in round 2. He got a robbery over Chris Curtis in the rematch. Another Extreme Couture guy, third Extreme Couture guy, I had Edmund Shabazian by round 1 or 2 KO. Golden Boy is going to get it. His win streak is kind of dog shit. He has kind of beat the worst guys in the rankings. Or not even in the rankings. They're just on the lower side of the roster. He's kind of just beat the worst guys. But Brendan is so... I don't know. It feels like he's so susceptible early. I could just see Edmund knocking him out. If I was to pick Brendan Allen, it'd have to be by like submission around 3, due to Edmund Shabazian gassing, like around 2 or 3 submission, due to Shabazian gassing or something. But he was able to pay. I don't know how you didn't chin Edmund Petrosky. That was like a really weird performance because he chinned everyone else in round 1. But I felt like he's starting to pace himself a little bit better. He is still kind of young. He's like 32, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Edmund Shabazian by round 1 or 2 KO. I'm gonna trust in Edmund Shabazian. This dude, he's 28. He's so young. He got into UFC very young as well. He's kind of like Jake Matthews, but like younger, and with a little bit less success. This dude's representing Brazil. What last time he did it, he's literally with the blonde hair here too. I don't think this is a recent one. Yeah, I don't think these are recent pictures. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Edmund Shabazi in round 1 or 2 KO. Moving on to Belal Muhammed versus Gabriel Bonfim. Belal coming off the 2-fight losing streak, got outboxed by JDM, arguably 50-45, got very damaged in that fight. Got some takedowns near the end, like near the end of round 3, in round 4, and then around 5 he was able to get a couple takedowns, but just got out damaged everywhere, picked apart. Against Ian Gary, he had a very competitive fight there, but just out damaged, face busted up, couldn't get any of his takedowns. I think he maybe got one, but yeah, man, not a good look coming to this fight. Gabriel Bonfim coming off a pretty good win streak. I think he beat Angelusa by decision. He beat Chaos Williams by nasty. I think it was guillotine. No, it was like a Darce choke, I think. Yeah, he beat him by just a choke. I think he beat him by like a Darce choke. Left him out cold. Like had him like tweaking. Then he had the performance everyone hated, where he robbed Wonder Boy. There is an argument for Bonfim to win that, obviously. And then he knocked out Randy Brown with the flush, bang. Was pretty much dominating the entire fight as well until that moment. Even if some people thought it was an early stoppage, I do think it was a decent stoppage. Randy Brown was like starting to come back with it, but he was just colded pretty badly. Now to break down the actual fight, Belal Muhammad is gonna get his legs chewed up, and I think since this fight got booked, I don't know why, I just thought Gabriel Bonfim was gonna win this. I was gonna end up switching to Belal because Bonfim did kind of gas and get TKO'd by Dalby, and that's not a good look. But I think Gabriel Bonfim is really good. I rewatched his Randy Brown performance. I think he's gonna snap the jab in Belal's face, cut him up. Ian Gary with like 2 jabs or had Belal bleeding. I think Gabriel Bonfim he's a very snappy jab, pop, left hook, bang. I think he's gonna cut Belal early. He has very good stepping knees. That's something that JDM used very good in the clinch, bang, fired a knee up the top. Gabriel Bonfim does that very well. He used it very early against Randy Brown. That's how he ended up KOing him. I don't think he's gonna KO Belal, but there's things he can use to bust up the face of Belal, rip it to the body, make him hurl. He's gonna chew up the leg. Ian Gary is fucking up the leg of Belal really badly, stomping of it on course, which was making it even worse. But Bonfim has very snappy, powerful low kicks. I think he's gonna get like around 3 TK. I think he's gonna get around 3 TKO against the fence. I think it's be very weak. I think Belal's gonna take a lot of damage on the face. I think the knees are gonna get him. He's gonna get hurt by a knee or something. Jab 2, bum bum bum. I don't think Gabriel Bonfim is as good as a boxer as Ian Gary or JDM. I think he has the tools to beat Belal. And I don't necessarily know why I'm picking by KO. It's not because he just KO'd Randy Brown. Because I know Belal definitely has a better chin than Randy. But I just could visualize like a doctor stoppage happening, or like a very weak TKO where Belal's hurt to the face, a knee got him, and maybe he gets an elbow off the break. That's something that JDM was able to use very good in the clinch, elbow. Belal isn't getting his takedowns. Bang, another knee to the body. Has Belal against the fence hurt. And yeah, or in like round 3, round 4, where Belal maybe have gotten his face busted up early in rounds 1 and round 2, but like Belal's still in Bonfim's face. Bonfim maybe slowing down. He's getting punched a lot more. He's getting tagged by the 1-1-2 Belal. Getting smudged against the fence. I can see like Belal picking it up, but the damage on his face is too much. So almost similarly, we want to see the knee versus Moicano fight where like PSD was winning that round, but the damage was just too much, had to get stopped. I can see something similar happening here, but without it being like from ground and pound. I could see it being from Belal just eating too many shots. He isn't really defensively safe. He does kind of just swarm in with his head in, and he just lets himself get eaten up. The way he dips down for the double jab, I can see the need for Bonfim. I am worried that if Belal starts shooting takedowns, that Bonfim might just try to go for the gilly. That is a very big fear of mine, where he'll just start going gilly, allow himself to get on bottom. But I hope he has a good enough game plan to not do that. So the prediction will be Bonfim by TKO, specifically doctor stoppage in round 3. Let me know you guys' predictions in the comments below. I know a lot of people are picking Belal. A lot of people like Belal. I don't necessarily hate him. I don't really have a big opinion on him. He seems like a cool dude. He has some pretty good breakdowns as well. I would recommend checking out his YouTube channel. He does some pretty good predictions from what I've seen. And yeah, which is your guys? This is honestly a very stacked Apex card. I'm pretty hyped to watch this, even though if I think some of these early fights are going to be by decision, I do think they could be entertaining. And so let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to enjoy these fights. Are you guys? What picks do you guys disagree? Agree? Let me know. Don't forget, bio below. Use Jazz07. Use my promo code Jazz07. Time Fitness if you want some fitness accessories, fitness gear. Follow me on Twitter, jazzlovesmma, and I'll catch you guys on Saturday when I'm making my recap video. Peace.